Hello, my name is Carrie. Welcome to Stitching on the 40, my channel all about my cross-stitching journey. This is FlossTube number 5, my autumn and fall update for November 1st through the 14th. It's been an interesting 2 weeks, that's for sure, between cats being crazy all over the place, trying to organize all of my belongings, and just trying to get daily life stuff done. It's been very interesting trying to get cross-stitch in. The main culprit of me not being able to cross-stitch as much as I want to is definitely Bella. She got fixed before Halloween and she's been not calm, that's for sure. The vet told me to keep her calm and she's just still been like a toddler, very much bouncy all over the place, wanting to get into everything and do everything. So that's been a big challenge these last 2 weeks. So definitely haven't got a lot of stitching done. But I do have a finish that I would like to show you. This one I did not stitch. I actually found this probably about 15 or 20 years ago in a thrift store. It happened to be in some patterns or magazines I bought. I can't remember which, but I remember it was kind of like sandwiched in between everything. I didn't even realize it was there until I got home. And I did a Google image reverse search and could not find any information about this pattern. But since it's the Thanksgiving season, I wanted to show this finish. I did save the stitches on this, but it's not been framed yet, and I need to get it framed. So here is Give Thanks for All Things. I do believe that it's from a pattern in the 1980s. I would say early 90s at the latest. This is very much looking like a 1980s pattern. So yeah, if you've ever seen this pattern and you know who the designer is, please let me know in the comments below. And it's in a heart shape, so I do have a heart frame wood board to put this on. However, I'm not real confident yet to make that shape correctly to finish this. So maybe one day soon I'll give that a whirl. Maybe. So because the cats have been really insane and it's even been difficult to try and get everything set up to record my video, I've had to leave everything in their bags. I did undo all the zippers, but some of the bags, you know, have these little, I would say zipper pulls on them. So that's going to make a little bit of jingle jangle, but try and work through that. At least I did unzipper all the bags, and I'll have to put everything back in the bags as I show it to you, just because the cats have been that interesting and unpredictable. So I'm looking at my book of days here. I did work on a few projects, not as many as I was hoping, but I will go through and show you in order my focus project, which is the house movie poster, and then my twin project for the month is Victorian charm. And I've had some challenges with that, and I do have some questions for the community. So when that project comes up, I will address all of that. I also got in some stitching time on my Bustling Bookshop, which is the yearly project with Tammy, the yearly twin project. And then I also got in some stitching on my Trick or Treat Kitty, Autumn Stitching Seasons, Poltergeist Pirates, and that looks like that's, oh, and the fall project from Just CrossStitch magazine. I did go visit some friends this past week that were in the Dallas area, so I spent a whole entire day doing that, so I didn't stitch then. That was a lot of fun to see my friends from Colorado and hang out with them while they were here in Texas for a little while. And then I also went and saw some family that lives in the area on another day, and that took up a lot of time as well. So just between all that I've been doing and then all the cats and crazy, it's been interesting. So I did get as much stitching in as I possibly could, but then I also had a day or two where I was just so exhausted I just slept. I have fibromyalgia, so that does make me more fatigued than most people. So there are some days where I just shut down and sleep and have 4 or 5 hour naps because my body absolutely needs to recuperate. So it's been interesting. But I have a lot to show you today, and I'm very excited. So the first project that I'm going to talk about is my focus project, which is house. Very excited about progress on this. And again, I'm just going to try and keep everything in order. So this is going to be interesting to see how I do this. And I forgot, darn it, I forgot to print out a new paper. Good grief, I'll get there. And now that I'm not ironing anything, I was trying to like press out with my hands all the wrinkles and everything, and that just has been a challenge as well because I have to keep everything in the bags now because the cats. So yes, it's all been very interesting and challenging. But house, I have made some progress on this. I can't remember. I'll have to put up a before picture so that you can see where I was at around November 1st. Good grief. So I honestly, it's been such a whirlwind these last couple weeks that I don't remember exactly all the places I stitched. But I do believe that I've made more progress up in here. I've been working on the door over here. And then I've also been coming down and starting to fill in because all of this is 3371, that brown black color. And so like all the way down, all of this, it's a lot of fill in. So I've been doing a few rows of that, which is a little over 100 stitches for each full row across. Push this down a little bit for each full row across. So if I do 3 or 4 rows here, then I come back up and do a little confetti and about 100 stitches up here, and I've got about 500 stitches. Now I would like to try and do about 1,000 stitches a day on this, because if I did that, I could get this done in 3 months. But that means I'd have to work on this every day, all day, and this would be my only thing I do for the next 3 months, and that's really not feasible. So I'm trying to get at least 500 stitches every time I stitch on this, and that's making it easier doing some fill-in down here and then coming up and working more on the confetti. I think I'm going to go back to my upside down staircase method because I was able to kind of control where I was at better, see progress better that way, and not feel so like, where do I go stitch next? So you're going to see that coming back into play again in a lot of my projects. But it'll make progress a lot easier to show, remember where I stitched. But for now, that's what I'm kind of doing, is filling in down here and working more up here. Okay, so now this I've got to get back into its pillowcase, because while the cats are sleeping right now and they're awfully adorable, yeah, I would show you a picture, but I can't take a picture because I'm recording on the phone. So I still gotta work on getting my GoPro set up for indoor recording so that I can start using that to record these videos, which hasn't happened yet. Hopefully in the near future. I have lots of lists of things I want to do and get done and accomplish, and it's on there, but I had to remind myself not to zip it. All right. So the monthly twin project with Tammy that we're working on for November is Victorian Charm. I absolutely love this piece. Let's see if it tells me who the designer is. Just says it's by Dimensions. And it doesn't give me a specific designer, at least not on the cover. So here is Victorian Charm. It's really pretty. It's almost full coverage except for the sky, because it's on that dark navy fabric. So I was really excited to start this project. I zigzagged my fabric. I, however, didn't wash it, which I should have. This is an 18 count Aida. This is the stiffest fabric I have ever worked with. So as I mentioned, I have fibromyalgia. And I didn't mark the top on this one with my thread. Darn it. Oh, okay. I've got the orientation right. I'm like, wait a second. I need to know the orientation on this. Okay, I need to mark this one on the top. So this 18 count navy blue Aida is extremely stiff. I mean, it's crazy stiff. So, and I've had stiffer fabric before, but never to the point where as I'm pushing my needle through, my fingers are slipping off and it's hurting. And like I said, I have fibromyalgia. So after about an hour of push and pull, fighting with the needle and the fabric, I had had enough. That's my progress. And I really didn't like, try and get as close with focusing, hopefully. And I really didn't like the way my stitches look. The bottom row of the brown is extremely messy. The whites off, the X's don't even look like they're in line with each other. I'm not happy with this. So between the stiffness of the fabric and then the messy stitches, I wanted to show everybody. So, I mean, this is crazy stiff. So I am going to rip these stitches out. I'm going to wash the fabric and iron it, try to soften it up some and see. I was even using a number 28 needle, like for 25 count fabric. So, yeah. And it was a struggle. After about an hour of struggling with this and getting just that amount done, I was in pain. My whole entire right arm was radiating pain. And I was just like, this is crazy. So I put it away. I was pretty disappointed because I had gotten it on a scroll frame and I'm like, forget it. I'm not even. I have to rip the stitches out, frog away, and wash that fabric and see if I can get it less stiff so that I can try again to start this project and make progress on it. Tammy is not having any trouble. So she had washed her fabric and done all that though to make it softer. So yeah, lesson learned. So then I worked on the, yeah, so I guess my questions would be, have you ever had the Victorian term, if you've stitched this project, has your fabric been so stiff it hurt you while you were stitching? Like your fingers are slipping off, it's hurting your fingers from slipping off the needle, you're having a hard time pulling the thread through the fabric. It's almost like I feel like I should be using one strand of thread on this fabric and just have it be thinner in coverage and see how I like it, because it's just pretty crazy. And I've also noticed that the dimensions thread frays a lot easier and is more fuzzy than like DMC or like Classic Colorworks or Weeks Dye Works. So it's been interesting. So I do believe washing the fabric and doing all that will soften it up. If you have any suggestions on how to soften fabric, please leave me a comment below. I would appreciate that. Oh, and I forgot to say at the beginning, I'm all over the place today just because the cats have me all discombobulated. And then now that they're resting, I'm like, okay, I can't get my brain together. I am almost at, I think, right around 450 subscribers. I wanted to say a big thank you to everyone. I truly appreciate everybody taking the time to watch my videos and to follow my cross-stitching journey. I know there's a lot of floss tubers out there and it can be overwhelming with the amount of videos that gets released, which is why I figured a 2-week schedule was pretty good for me. Gives me time to try and get some stitching done with the crazy way my life is. And then also, you know, to try and have a good update for you without bombarding you with a bunch of videos. I know a lot of daily videos are coming out for everybody, so I've been enjoying those, but I just don't have the time to do that kind of stuff. But anyway, roundabout way to say I appreciate each and every one of you for coming back to watch. If you're new, thank you for coming to see what everything's all about. Thanks for returning, being here, watching, liking, subscribing, all the fun things. I truly appreciate all of you. So thank you so much. I meant to say that in the beginning and I get all discombobulated. So Bustling Bookshop, I probably should print a new one of this just to make sure it's a good copy, because at one point I was printing my cover photos with toner save, but it's Some of them, I think that one's okay, but we'll see. So Bustling Bookshop, this is a pattern by Durene Jones. Oh, and the house project is a chart I did on pigtocat.com. The other one I mentioned is Dimensions, the Victorian charm. So this is in the Craftways A Cross-Stitch Christmas book that gets released each summer. This is the 2024 book. And again, this is by Durene Jones. It's called Bustling Bookshop. So cute. And I've started up in this upper left-hand corner up here. All right. So again, everything had to stay in the bags. Oh, wait. I put this one on a scroll frame. That's right, I did. Because this one is so close to the margin. I don't have a very big margin at the edges. I think it might be 2 inches, and that makes it tough for putting it on a scroll frame. Really need 3 inches. But I made it work on a smaller scroll frame because I couldn't really get it to fit in a Q-snap or a hoop very well. That was able, I was able to use my clamp system on the table that I have. So I did put Bustling Bookshop. Of course, hopefully I put up a before picture. And here is where I'm at now. I am on the scroll frame now. Yay. And these are just the little adjusters that pull the fabric tight. I'm sure everybody has seen these. Here, let me show you here. Take just a second. So they pull the fabric taut so that it's easier to stitch, because I stitch better with a taut fabric versus loose. I struggle with loose fabric. So the scroll frame is a great system for me, but I can't always put all my projects on scroll frame because I'm very limited to how many scroll frames I have versus how many projects I have. So that's my progress on Bustling Bookshop. I'm very excited about that one. I'm going to do all the back stitching at the end here. So cute. So I'm very excited about that. I was happy to work on that one and get it on the scroll frame. It just makes it so much easier to pop it onto the clamps on my desk and just stitch away with, because I two-hand stitch. So yeah, I've gotten so used to that over the years that I started two-hand stitching when I started doing full coverage in 2019. So yeah, there's that one. Okay, let's put the rest of the bag away here and stay all put together. Okay. So then I did, my brain stopped working for a second. I'll be right back. Okay, I saw my pins that I wanted to show last time and my brain just like was halting. So I use, when I have to do 1/4 or 3/4 stitches on Aida, I use a very sharp sewing pin. So this is what it looks like, if I can get it in camera here without being it. So it's a very sharp sewing needle. It has the ball at the end, so it's easy to grab and hold on to, and it doesn't fall through my fabric. So I use this to pierce the middle of the square that I need to put the 1/4 stitch into. That way I'm directly in the middle. It's a good solid hole right there for me to just easily put my needle through. So it's just a very sharp sewing needle. And it came in a box of a bunch. So yeah. It's a very cool, easy way to do 1/4 and 3/4 stitches. I don't hate them in a design because this makes it extremely easy when it's on Aida. So it's not a big deal for me if it has 1/4 stitches and I'm using Aida. Okay, so this bag has the little zipper pull that came with the kit. This is Autumn Stitching Seasons. It's stitching with the Housewives, Priscilla and Chelsea. Oh, and I should show you my shirt because it's fitting. Let me back up here a little bit. I have my Stitching with the Housewives shirt on today. Very exciting. And they do put stuff on the back. Hopefully I'm kneeling down far enough. So there's my shirt for today. I have a couple projects of theirs that I'm going to show, so I wanted to wear that shirt today. So here is the bag with the cute zipper pull of my autumn stitching seasons. I will show you a picture of where I was before. I guess I should show you the pattern or the picture. Good grief. I will eventually get my words right. One video that I don't have to correct myself, maybe. So again, it's stitching with the Housewives. Okay. And what kind of fabric is this on? Good grief. Am I with it today? No, I am not. Let's see. It is 28 count even weave thin white pine board by Fabric Flair. Alrighty. And again, I will show you the before picture. And this is where I got to. I did not get a whole lot of progress. Again, cats are very challenging. I'm enjoying it though. It just means I end up playing with my cats for, you know, 6 to 8 hours each day in 4-hour blocks usually, because that's the amount of energy little 5-month-old Bella has. It's interesting. So there's my autumn stitching season's progress. It is, I had to get some water. It is classic color work, so it's variegated floss. So I am stitching one strand of, or one square at a time, one X at a time, to get the most out of my variegation. And that's the white pine board fabric. It's pretty cute. Thank you for your patience while I put these things back in the bags. Oh, don't forget the chart, Carrie. Good grief. Okay. I also stitched on fall, which I was really excited when this one came out because it is a full coverage project, and I've been wanting to stitch more on full coverage lately for some reason. So this particular pattern is from Just Cross Stitch of September, October 2007. The designer is Amy Brueken. I'm not sure how to say that correctly. Of Sisters and Best Friends. This is a 4-part series. Here is fall. This is the one I've started. So cute. And I started in the middle with the grace block. I'll show you before picture. Perfect. This is on I have it that it's an 18 count Aida. Is it really 18 count? I'll have to get my ruler out and count how many squares there are per inch. So according to my notes, this is an 18 count oatmeal. Lamb's wool, oatmeal, same, right? And this is where I got to. I was trying really hard to stitch on this, and I did post a picture on Instagram and Facebook, but I'll put the picture up here. Bella made stitching on this extremely challenging the other evening. But that's where I got to. I really like the block projects. I don't know why, other than the Virgo in me and like the whole organization. Yeah, I really like it. But that was a lot of fun to work on. I'm looking forward to doing more on that during the fall season. And I went ahead and printed out the other 3 seasons so I could go ahead and show you. Surprisingly, after they released fall, then they released spring in the Just Cross Stitch March, April 2008 issue. And here's spring. Isn't that so cute? They're all full coverage, and they're all with the 9 blocks. I absolutely love these. They're so cute. And again, it's the same designer. I'm looking at this backwards. Right here is her name. Isn't that adorable? So I hope to start this in the spring. Then they released summer in the July-August 2008 issue of Just CrossStitch. Isn't that adorable? I love these. They are so cute. I really like seasonal stuff. And again, this is summer. And then winter was released in the Just CrossStitch magazine, November, December 2008. Absolutely adorable. So I'm hoping to start each of these as the season begins and work on them in each season. I have lofty goals, but like I would like to do a block a week in each season, but that's just not possible with all the other goals I have and projects I'm working on. But I'm going to get there eventually when I get some of my projects finished that I am hoping to finish next year. So that's my progress on fall, along with the other 3 season pictures. Don't do the zipper. I have to remind myself. I worked on Poltergeist Pirates by Glendon Place. Design is by Cheryl, Granda. I love all the bursts of really bright colors in this. It looks so good. And I'm excited with the fabric that I'm doing this on. Show you a before picture. And again, stitching on this was, I tried for 2 days to stitch on this, and Bella made it impossible. So here is the fabric. And I made this fabric myself. I used 8 different colors to dye it. And the progress I made was just there at the bottom of the pole. That was it. So I had this on a 17, I think it was on my 17 by 11 Q-snap. But then I ended up taking it off just because I wanted to wrap it different next time I work on it. So plus it makes it easier to show and fold up and put in back in the bag when I'm talking to y'all on the video. That's a 14 count white Aida that I dyed with those 8 different colors. And I've said what they are in other videos. So if you're curious, check out my last video. I definitely talked about them then. Dharma Trading Company is the powder dyes that I used. Okay. The last one I was able to get some, as my projects fall over, the last one I was able to get some stitches on in that first 2-week block of November is Trick or Treat Kitty by Ursula Michael. This is in the Just CrossStitch Halloween 2021 issue, and I'll be showing you a before picture. Let's do the whole design first, though. I don't want to not show the designer. So again, we'll show you a before picture, and then here's where I got to. So cute. He's so adorable. So got the rest of the face filled in. I was filling in down here and on his paw. So I really don't have a lot left. Let me see what I'm doing here. Just that orange pumpkin that's going to be a little bit of stitching, but that'll be fun to do. So I did make some progress. I am hoping to do a lot more over these next 2 weeks. However, with the Thanksgiving holiday and my family being in town, it's going to be very interesting to get anything done. So those are my WIPs for November 1st through the 14th for the autumn and fall season. I did not start anything new. I was good. I would like to have a Thanksgiving project going, but that's just not in the works yet. So I am getting closer to the, like I said, right around 450 subscribers. And when I reach 500, I do plan to do a giveaway of my Fat Quarter Shop stitch cards that I have duplicated over the last couple years during all my different moves. There were 4 sets that I duplicated and bought 2 sets and didn't realize it till later. I did find the 4th set, so I'll just quickly show those to you again. They are brand new. I've never opened these. So set N is the first one. Super cute. Gnome, flower, mushroom, and snail. And as I explained before, all the insides are the same size. It's all the borders on all the different sets of stitch cards that are interchangeable. And you can use any colors that you want to. They're very versatile. I absolutely love them. Set O, these are all going to be for my 500 subscriber giveaway. If and when that happens, I'm not pushing for it. I just thought it would be fun to do a reward for something, such a big milestone, and that would be so exciting. And I appreciate each and every one of you. Set P, these are the 3 I showed before, and I finally found the 4th one. I'm so excited because it's fitting for the season. It is Christmas with the church, the presents, Noel, and then like the little quilty block. So cute. So set W. So those are the 4 that will be part of the giveaway. I will give one to, one goes to one person. So 1 each to 4 different people, if and when that happens. So that's exciting. I was really happy to find that 4th one. Try to figure out where to put everything so I don't forget where I put everything. So there were a few projects, surprisingly, because I am so discombobulated in trying to get everything organized, and I missed 3 of my Heaven and Earth designs for the Autumn and Fall WIP Parade. And then there was also another project by Little Stitch Girl that I am almost done with. That was a twin project between Tammy and I that I did not finish yet, that is for the fall season. So I somehow missed these for my Autumn and Fall WIP Parade. So here's a little bonus of adding 4 projects to that WIP Parade. So the first one I'm going to show you is called Flowers for Fall. It is again by Little Stitch Girl. It printed really weird when I scanned the chart in, so I'm not really sure what happened, but it ended up being little. I don't know. I'm still figuring out technology. It's challenging for me. So again, this is called Flowers for Fall by Little Stitch Girl. Super cute. It uses the Cottage Garden threads, and it's the Autumn Garden palette. So Tammy and I did get that, and again, she finished hers. I have not. These are pretty amazing threads. I've left them in the bags just because it's, yeah. So I'll try to show these to you with as minimal glare as possible. So that is called Spruce Cottage Garden Threads. A little bit of variegation. Golden Gully is like, wow. Let me kind of move this one is wild. Look at all those reds and greens and yellows. I was like, wow, really? That's amazing. So that one is used, and then that's called Golden Gully. And then terracotta, slight variegation, and dandelion. Again, just a slight variegation from dark to light. So it uses just those 4 colors. It is so cute. So no before pictures on these because I forgot to show them during the WIP parade. So again, I'm just adding these to that Autumn and Fall WIP parade. Fun surprise. Tammy and I also got the needle minders. I'm trying to kind of fix the floss to be out of the way. Hang on, I'll be right back. Okay, so Flowers for Fall by Little Stitch Girl. Cottage Garden Threads. And I almost finished. So on some of these, I'm doing my variegation a little different. Like these, I'm stitching it from the outside to the inside around in a circle to give it a different type of feeling from what's in the picture. So that's this flower here. Oh, am I out of frame? Whoops. This flower here, right there, mine's very different. There's a striped across, mine is the circles around. So I just wanted to do mine a little bit different with some of these. I really like it. It's super cute. And these are the needle minders that not came with it, but they were additional purchase. And I went ahead and got those for Tammy and I as a cute little gift. It has 3 leaves. I think it's red, yellow, green. So I really like that. And it's almost complete. Yeah. So I would like to finish this during this fall season over these next 2 weeks. So we'll see if I can get that accomplished or not. Definitely adding these to the ones I want to work on right now. There's a few fall ones that I'm glad they kind of didn't come up on the spinner wheel because I just really hadn't been in the mood to do them. So, and again, I apologize for all the noise. Thank you for your patience on that. So this particular Heaven and Earth design is called Almost Winter. I did get the max color version. It's by Leonid, nope, I think it's Leonid Afromov is how you pronounce it. So again, it's called Almost Winter, max colors. It is so pretty for the fall, autumn season. I love it. I started in the top left-hand corner. And this is a regular size. So it's what does that say? 525 by 348. Pretty big, but mine's on 28 count white Monaco. And again, I started in the upper left-hand corner. And this is definitely parking with the upside down staircase method. The colors in this are wow. So this is the tree here already with the leaves. Let me bring up the picture real quick here. So I've started here. That looks so good, right? So that's a lot of fun. It looks like I need to do this square to finish off my staircase here. So I've really been wanting to work on this ever since I discovered that it wasn't in the WIP parade, but I wanted to wait until I showed you before I worked on it. Add to my little WIP parade here. So again, that's Almost Winter by Leonid Afromov, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. I'm sure I'm not saying the name fully correctly, but I will try to get that right. I think I've just bumped the camera. I try not to do that. Heaven and Earth Design, again, another one I missed for my Autumn and Fall WIP Parade. This is Autumn Magic, the mini version. It is a lot like the leaves in Trick or Treat Mini, but it's definitely a different picture of that. So it's by Randall Spangler. The detail's really good, and it is a mini, and the colors are, wow, super bright and pretty. So it looks like I was doing cross country on this, and I'm not sure how I'll continue stitching on that once I pick it back up again. But those colors are awesome. That's exciting. That'll be a fun one to work on. Some of these minis are really good detail, and because they are mini, I should be able to get them done from start to finish within a year. But because I have so many projects, that doesn't happen. But I'm starting to formulate a plan for 2026, and I'll talk about that here in a few. So my last one that I missed for my Autumn Fall WIP Parade is another Heaven and Earth design. This one is by Anya Kai, and it's called Autumn Owl Trio. It is the mini version, and I got the no background pattern. It's so cute. And I dyed my own fabric on this one. Oh, I think I forgot to say the Autumn Magic Mini is on like that 28 count pre-gridded Lugana. So my Autumn Owl Trio minis on an 18 count white Aida that I dyed orange modeled. I did start this project April 27th of 2021, which is crazy. That's like 4.5 years ago. And this is all I have done, but it does look really good. I love the orange fabric. So here's the fabric. It is very wrinkled. And that's my progress. Should be a lot further along. Honestly, this for 4.5 years, this should be done. And it's not doing that very well. But it looks good on the fabric, I think. Maybe one day. So, yeah. Have to figure out how I want to tackle stitching on that one as well, since there's no background. But it's still Heaven and Earth design, so that's interesting. I think this is my only Heaven and Earth design that's not totally full coverage. Thank you for your patience with the rustling of the paper. Yeah, I think it's my only Heaven and Earth design, so it's not totally full coverage because there's no background on that one. Oh, my card. I need to put my card in the bag. Okay, and I have like a little cube thing down here that I'm throwing them in, so I keep them in order and I don't lose anything. Then I realized that there's three projects for fall that I would like to start that I haven't started yet, that I got through my Fat Quarter Shop, either Stitch Quarterly or my Stitching with the Housewives clubs that I used to belong to, which I do miss those, and maybe one day again soon I'll be able to sign up for those and have fun with those again. And then I also have a fourth pattern that I wanted to show you that I do want to start eventually very soon, and I say that probably about everything. We could just laugh about it. And I've included that as well. It's a Stitching with the Housewives project also, which is why I thought, again, it was very fitting that I wore their t-shirt. So I think this shirt was released by the Fat Quarter Shop a few years ago. So the first one that I want to show you is in this cute little mesh bag. It's adorable. This is part of the club, the Stitch Quarterly Club, September of 2021. The pattern is called Autumn Spice. It has great colors. I absolutely love it. And Priscilla with Stitching with the Housewives, Priscilla and Chelsea, they finished these. I do believe Priscilla does most of the finishing. It's so cute. I will finish mine different, but I love the pattern. It's adorable, and we get the finishing fabric. So I got the bag, the pattern. Oh no, this one doesn't have finishing fabric. It's got pale gray gingham 14 count Aida. It's very lightly visible for the gingham, for the pattern. DMC colors. Super pretty for fall, autumn. Love it. There's the numbers. And cute needle minder with a John James needle. Oops, this away. And the cute acorn needle minder. Love it for Autumn Spice. So I would like to, of course, start that, stitch it, hang it up. It's like a comedy show when I say that. This bag is super cute. Here, let me take the stuff out so you can see the bag better. I'm going to show you the stuff anyway. This bag is adorable. It's got the pumpkins on there. So cute. Again, this is Stitch Quarterly from Fat Quarter Shop. It's called Fall Harvest. This is all the fabric. I do believe that it's by Fabric Flare, but I will verify that. And this is the pattern. So cute. Let's see. 14 Autumn Splendor Sampler 14 count Ada by Fabric Flare. Okay. So here's the fabric. That is adorable. Oh. That's really cute. So there's the fabric. That's absolutely adorable. I love it. That'll be fun. And then the color palette is amazing with the needle in there, and they put their little Fat Quarter Shop logo on there. There's all my color numbers. So fun. It also came with floss drops of pumpkins. The B is for Bee in My Bonnet, Lori Holt. Got the little code on there. So cute, from Fat Quarter Shop. And then it also came with the needle minder. Love it. Most of these usually either come with the needle minder or the zipper pull. I do prefer the needle minder just because I have the cats and they like to go after the zipper pulls, especially because they make noise. So I prefer the needle minders, but we don't have a choice. The kits are made up and we get what we get. So, but I love them. I miss getting these. They are absolutely adorable. And I do have one more to show you. That's Fat Quarter Shop Stitch Quarterly. Here's the bag. So cute. It's the same on both sides. Absolutely love these. The pattern is called Pumpkin Pals. Oh, it's got a little, oh, what's that called? Little hedgehog and a bird. So cute. So yeah, this was the Stitch Quarterly. This one is not so clear as to when it was released. I think it was last year. But the fabric is Platinum 14 count Ada by Zweigart. That's pretty. Nice, pretty tan color. That'll be fun. And this has color palette of DMC, and there's also a Weeks Dye Works in there that's very variegated. That's pretty, along with the needle. And as you can see, I did not have a chance to paint my nails either. I tried to paint my nails last night, and the cats were not letting me. So we just have natural nails today, and I had to cut them down because I've had a few break. So yeah, that's a pretty variegated floss, and then of course the DMC in there. That's so cool. I love that. This is the best part of this whole kit, in my opinion, is the hedgehog needle minder. Look at you! He's so cute. And I love that the pumpkin is blue. Blue is my favorite color. He's so cute. I love it. That's adorable. Yay. All right. Let's throw this back in the bag real quick and show you one last project that I would like to start and work on. This would be a very long couple years project, but I would be very excited to stitch on this. I think I've had it since it released. This is Stitching with the Housewives. Let's see if it has a release date. I don't see one offhand quickly, but it is called Home is Where the Wreath Is. A super cute series. And the O is interchangeable for the seasons. So this was the first release with the initial HOME letters with the ivy in the middle. And then Wreath Swap 1 came out, which is January through June wreaths. trying to see if it's in picture in frame or not. If it's visible. So cute. So those are not the greatest pictures, but Reswap 2 looks like July through December. These are better pictures than the last one. Thanksgiving! I need to do more Thanksgiving. I don't really have anything. So cute. And they also did a wreath swap 3 of celebrations for like birthday, congratulations, graduation, marriage, school, summertime in the beach, and then like one with like watermelons and stuff. Those are really cute. So I got all of them, but I haven't stitched any of them yet. The base is H, M, and E. The O is interchanging. And I also have this board that they finished it on. I did purchase that at the time that they released the first chart so that I had the board when I was ready to finish it. And then they also show the option where you can finish it across on the same board instead of straight up and down. So you can put it vertical or horizontal. So cute. I already cut all of my black fabric. I think it was like, no, I've only cut for 6, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, for 6. So to do the initial 4, and then I had 2 cut for some other holidays that I was going to pick and do initially. But did I write down? It's a 14 count black Aida that I'm going to do this on because they stitched theirs on a 28 count black even weave 2/2. Mine will be on the 14 count 2/1. So excited. It's a lot of white stitching. I did buy a cone of what is it, 38.65? Yes, 38.65. So a few years ago, 123 Stitch was having the DMC 100-gram cones on sale for $19.99 here and there as they were wanting to put different colors on sale. So when that was happening, I got a cone of 38.65, knowing that I would be stitching this project. And I have that still wrapped and all put away so that it doesn't discolor from any, it's not exposed to light, it's not exposed to dust, none of that stuff, so my white won't get discolored and change because I don't want that to happen. Uh-oh, where'd I put my remote? That's not good. It was right here. Okay, I'll be right back. So one last thing I wanted to mention is I know everybody's talking about the 2026 Heaven and Earth Design Stitch Along. There is controversy with a few of the images being AI generated. I have recently learned that AI uses a lot of electricity and drains our resources more than anything, which is just kind of crazy to me. So at the time I decided, so before I knew anything about all the AI images generation, I knew to stay away from AI because they're not licensing the artists. My understanding is they're taking like artwork from all the artists, throwing it into all this AI stuff, and then it's generating and changing things and just generating similar type images. So with that being said, I'm not trying to create any controversy on my channel or anything. I just wanted to put the facts out there of how I went about this. Oops, I hit the microphone. I'm trying not to do that. I'm so sorry. Usually I have a necklace on and I don't wear that with recording. So I apologize. I'm trying to not bump the microphone. I think every video I've bumped the microphone. So my apologies on that one. I don't mean to do that. So the 2026 Heaven and Earth Design Stitch Along, I've never been part of that stitch along. I usually don't do stitch alongs because I have a hard time keeping up. Okay. So with that being said, when I learned that they were releasing the full chart right from day one, so you can stitch as much as you want, as fast as you want, you don't have to wait for them to release anything. It's the whole entire chart to go into Pattern Keeper without issue. I was intrigued. And then I learned that if you stitch only one page of the stitch along, that you get an exclusive Amy Stewart chart that's all about stitchy heaven. And I just can only imagine how much fun that chart will be, how much it will have going on, it will be entailed. I know a stitcher shelf is absolutely gorgeous, so I can only imagine what kind of stitchy heaven she's created for this exclusive chart through the stitch along. And you get that if you only finish one page. So I was like, okay, I'm ready to do this, but let me check out the designers, make sure I stay away from the AI stuff. So I looked at all of the designs, I looked at all of the mock-ups, I looked at every single one and compared them all, decided the ones that I was really drawn to, that I liked, that I wanted to stitch. And then I compared all those mock-ups and picked the best one that I was like, yes, I want to stitch that. Then I looked up the designer and I did a Google search. I did not scroll all the way to the bottom of the haed Sal rules and see this part. This particular part's at the very, very bottom and I missed it. And I learned later what is going on here. So when I did my Google search on the designer of L&L Designs, it came up that it was a person in Broomfield, Colorado. And I was like, great, they're an artist. Perfect. And then I go ahead, I purchase my stitch along, I join the Facebook group, I fill out my survey, I pick my chart, I'm locked into my chart. And then I find out that this designer is actually using AI images. So I went one step further because I misunderstood and missed the very bottom of the Sal rules. And I took that image and reverse searched it through Google. I did not find anything similar that had a bird and an owl. And I'll show you the chart that I chose. It's called The Wise and the Brave. It is by L&L Designs. And they do AI image generation, which I did not know at first. At first, when I did my searches on Google, I thought they were an actual artist, which is when I purchased my Sal. Now that I am locked in on this, I really do like the image, and doing my Google reverse image search, I didn't find anything that had the owl and bird image on the tree. There was 2 owls or 3 owls or just birds, but nothing with the 2 combined. So I felt comfortable going ahead and saying, okay, I paid the $20 for the stitch along. This is my very first paid stitch along. I really want that Amy Stewart chart of the Stitcher's Heaven. So I'm going to at least do the one page. And then I learned that, okay, well, if you finish 6 pages, then you get all 12 charts from the stitch along, which there was 1 or 2 others that I really liked. You're going to hear my cats in the background because they've woken up and they're wrestling. Oh, good grief, kitty cats. And then if you finish the whole entire chart in the year, you get to choose 1 of 3 exclusive charts, and 1 of them is by an artist. And again, Amy Stewart is an actual artist that gets paid through Heaven and Earth Designs. They license her chart, so I should say her art, to convert into cross-stitch. So I'm very excited about the Amy Stewart chart. I'm very excited about the end exclusive chart that is also by a designer. And I don't remember, I apologize, I don't remember which designer that was or which chart that was at the moment. I'm having a blank, and I did this, I don't know, a week or so ago, maybe 2 weeks ago. But I'm very excited about the stitch along and seeing what I can accomplish and what I can get done, and at a minimum get at least 1 page done. So I'm missing 2 colors in my bobbins that I pulled, but here is my color palette. It's gorgeous. I'm very excited. It's very fall oriented, as I'm sure you saw in the image, and I will show that again. The Heaven and Earth Designs also gave us a gridded image to show us which pages we needed to complete in order to get all 12 designs of the stitch along, which are for me on the Brave, or the Wise and the Brave chart, is going to be pages 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, and 7, if I remember that correctly. It'll be the first 3 at the top and the second 3 in the second row. If I can use my words correctly today. So I just thought that was pretty interesting. I'm excited to do that. So with my goals to complete House next year, I really would like to get that movie poster done, and then to work on the Wise and the Brave stitch along. And I've already got my fabric out. I just need to zigzag it and go through that whole process of washing it, making it softer. I need to decide if I'm going to dye it a different color, so I'm not stitching on white with a bunch of those light colors. Maybe do something a little darker, more autumn sky-like, to make a lot of those other colors pop and the white easier to stitch. So we'll see if I do that or not. And through the Heaven and Earth Design sale that they had, I think it was around Halloween time, I did go ahead and purchase the regular size chart of Sea Beacon, and trying to decide if I'm going to continue with the mini or start the regular chart. So I have both now to figure out what I'm going to do, and I just have not made that determination yet. So I have a lot of things that I want to think about over the next couple of weeks as far as like planning for Christmas. Hello, Bella, because as you can see right here, these are all of my Christmas WIPs. Hello, Bella. And Bella has made an appearance now because she's woken up. Hello. What are you doing, crazy girl? Okay, so these are all of my Christmas WIPs. So I am starting to plan for December, for my December 1st Christmas WIP parade. I'm so excited about that. And to figure out what projects I want to work on in 2026, what finishes I want to make, and how I'm going to go about accomplishing that. I still plan to continue the monthly WIP parade to go through all of my projects, regardless of what I'm stitching on or what I'm doing each month with my actual stitching itself, with all the different projects. So the WIP parades will continue monthly, just because I have, like 150 projects that I would like to show everybody. And it's giving me the opportunity to slowly go through these and not be bombarded and overwhelmed by all of them all at once. And to slowly go through them, really kind of weed through them through each season or each holiday as I do each WIP parade, and pull out the ones that I really want to focus on and finish, and or just make a whole lot of progress on. Definitely want to finish House next year. I would really like to finish that stitch along for Heaven and Earth Designs, but that's a huge project and a lot of work. I think it's like 295 by 300. So it's quite a few stitches. Good grief. What am I putting myself up for? But I think it's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm really looking forward to it, along with, again, just continuing on with the monthly WIP parades. So I look forward to seeing you after Thanksgiving at the end of November. I do believe it'll be November 30th. That'll be my next FlossTube for number 6. To give you my update for autumn and fall, November 15th. Yes, 15th through the 30th. So the next 2 weeks. So I hope you have a lovely next 2 weeks. Enjoy your time with family and loved ones, and happy Thanksgiving in America. So yeah, we're getting ready to do all that. So lots of family things happening. So we'll see how much stitching I can get done, but it's a priority for me. So we'll see how all that goes. Enjoy your next 2 weeks. Happy holidays as we go into this lovely season, and enjoy time with your family. They are the most precious and the most important. Happy stitching, everybody.